Number 70 on our house inspection checklist is referring to mold. Any mildew, funguses, or strange things growing out of your bathroom need to be removed. Now, most of the time this is, or could be just as simple as keeping the bathroom clean. Moisture is our biggest enemy in the bathroom. If you have a faucet that is corroding, guess what it's corroding from? Moisture. Now there are other problems that cause corrosion and problems with our bathroom, but moisture is going to be the biggest one. So inspect these areas for any mildew. Mildew or mold is going to give you a sign that you have a moisture problem. If you have mold growing in the corner in between the bottom of your bathtub and the flooring, guess what? You probably have a moisture problem. When you get out of the shower or the bathtub, your feet are wet, you're climbing out, sprinkling a little bit of water falling off your body onto these areas. If these areas aren't cleaned up or wiped up, the moisture isn't removed, guess what? You could have mold growing. Now, if you have mold growing in these areas, you could also have mold growing underneath the areas you can't see. So, like I said, a crack or a gap in between the flooring and your bathtub. If there's mold growing there, there's a good chance that you have mold growing underneath the flooring and underneath the bathtub. So mold will provide you with additional clues to additional problems throughout the rest of your house. So if you have mold on your ceiling, you could have mold on top of the drywall. You could actually have mold on the wood framing also. So when you see a little bit of mold, don't just assume that that's all the mold. Now at the same time, I don't want to scare you. Don't assume that, oh my God, you got a little bit of mold. You know for a fact you have it on the rest of the house. You're going to tear your drywall out. And that's not the case. If you have mold underneath, in an area where you can't see it, don't worry about it. This simplified house inspection isn't about making things complicated. We're trying to keep things simple here. So, and that wouldn't be simple, ripping out your bathroom just to see if you have any mold behind there. Now, like I said earlier, mold can usually be solved just by cleaning. Get some chemicals that remove mold, keep these areas clean for a while. And it's just like I said, if you have a gap between the bathtub and the flooring and the mold is underneath these areas, there's a good chance that the moisture got into the crack and seeped into these areas. Your chemicals could do the same thing and end up killing the mold. So, a little common sense applied with our inspection is going to go a long ways. If you own a house, you should inspect it regularly. But how can you inspect a home if you don't know what to look for? If you're not looking for a complicated checklist or something that wasn't written in a language that you can't understand anyway, do yourself a favor and visit this website today. The most valuable investment you have must be protected and inspected.